Previously on Supernatural.
Boogans howl in a moonless night, piecing lesser pets with fright. Except for those in skinny jeans, two duck-faced hunks called Sam and Dean, hunting evil from coast to coast, crushing ass and vaping ghosts. Dim lights smoldering midst the tombs. Blue steel archangels are Hindus. Hindus.
Shoo them. Shoo them. Kids today, Hindus tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Exactly. Come back when you're Himbus in a couple of years, and then we'll talk.
Exactly.
Then I'll let you play in my front yard with a hose.
Ew, stupid. Ugh, fuck those kids.
I know they better not still be out there. Let's see.
Tom's shaking his fist at some
I'm
kids.
gonna shake my fist at these kids.
I'm keeping this in.
I'm gonna shake my fist at these kids.
Hey you kids.
No, they're gone. They're gone.
Okay.
They're gone.
Thank God.
They're gone.
Thank God.
Just riding one of those little scooters through my lawn.
Oh, pieces of shit. Welcome, folks, to a brand new Himbooze. Is this going to be a free one?
I don't know. I hope not, because I mean, it probably should, but like, I really don't want to start a free episode with me just ranting about my yard.
Why not?
You're right. That's fair. That's a fair view of what the show is and will continue to be.
And our H's.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fine. Embrace it. Wear it like a warm jacket.
I'm embracing it like Slim Pickens in the bomb at the end of Doctor Strangelove.
Exactly.
Just riding this all the way down.
Yep. To oblivion. And hopefully dragging everybody down with us.
To the Oblivion remaster. A surprise drop this week.
What is that? Oh,
Elder Scrolls 4. Yeah, Oblivion. Surprise remaster.
No shit.
Yep. That's dates
wild.
this episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because this is actually going to be. It doesn't matter. This is like we're like a week or a month behind. We're getting our Himbus in. We're packing in the Himbus early.
Mm-hmm. We're cramming them in there.
Yeah, for folks who are listening.
Beautiful Himbus.
Yeah. For folks listening for the first time and are like, what are they talking about exactly?
What is this?
I'm hearing about Oblivion. There's a yard. Listen, we are beginning a watch through of the show Supernatural, which started in, I don't know, I'm going to say 1970. 2006. It then went on for 15 seasons, apparently, I'm told.
Yes.
Some of those seasons, perhaps better than others. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all 15.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for all however many hundreds of episodes we end up doing of this show.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be close to 200, probably, right? I haven't looked up how many total episodes there are of Supernatural.
Gotta be a lot. There were like 200 of the X-Files. For reference. And that was what? The last two seasons were more or less one season because they were like 6 episodes each. So that was like 10 seasons, 10 90s seasons.
Right. I don't know why I was thinking that like they were just under 200. Or maybe they were just over 200. I can't remember now.
I don't know. I also, because this went on for 15 seasons, I wonder I'm so curious of how it's going to change over that amount of time. I assume they did a season a year, but maybe not,
327 produced episodes.
Jesus Christ. So that's how many episodes of this there will be.
Mm-hmm.
That's 300 and how much?
27.
327 hours of our life, Tom. Times 2.
I'm excited.
Because we have to record the podcast. Yeah, me too. I'm excited. And you all are excited listening. And so just to tell you our thesis, they're the monsters. It's them. They're going around the country basically like serial killers for ghosts. And maybe don't do that. They are criminals in both our world and the other world, the next world, the upside down.
Yeah, the Spookiverse.
And so that's how we're talking about
Ghost Town, the Little Monsters universe. That's a reference that's still relevant to people, right? Little Monsters,
right? Where the kid drinks piss. I remember a child drinks piss.
He drinks Howie Mandel's piss.
Jesus Christ, that feels like someone should get arrested.
Jar, like a mayonnaise jar,
right? Just full of his hot Howie Mandel piss,
or a thermos. Either way,
yeah, that's gross. This is gross.
Yeah, so like Supernatural's a lot like that.
Yeah, we're chugging all the piss, folks. And so we have our first segment, which we're calling Drifter Himbo Ghost Murderers. Now, because of this show, every time I go to say Himbo, I just say Himbo.
Himbo, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was doing that a lot. I think we're going to end up using them interchangeably, which is fine.
Oh, 100%. That's what this is about. This is about creating a new word for America. Mm-hmm. And so we're just going to talk about the episode real quick.
Creating a new mythology for the United States, really.
Exactly. And we are at season 1, episode 4, also known as Phantom Traveler, which is about a demon with a real niche interest.
Right, a demon that is specifically obsessed with killing people in plane crashes. Nothing else will do. Nothing else will do.
Like the same group of people. He's final destinationing them, or she. The demon is.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like it's a fetish because it's basically taking people who are afraid of flying and then possessing them and then crashing the plane in their body. And I have to note that doesn't actually seem like a good use of demon possession. What I mean is, why possess the people who are scared of flying? Possess someone around the people who are scared of flying. Don't you want that precious fear? Because when he possesses them, they're no longer scared of flying. He possesses them with nihilism and bravery.
Yeah, coolness, really.
Yeah.
Fucking cool as hellness. And also super strength. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's making them like X-Men.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. If only he could have given that first guy the power of flight.
Yeah.
As they explain it later, Sam does anyway, but it's because people who are freaking out or scared or are otherwise having some sort of panic or emotional distress are more vulnerable to demonic possession. Yes.
Right. And this demon just seems to be into this. And again,
it's at one point Dean mentions, one of them does, I think it's Dean, mentions that there's been like 6 of these plane crashes. Oh wait, I think it's Sam. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But there's been a number of these plane crashes over the decades.
Yeah. And it's just this one demon who, it's bad enough he's crashing planes, but it also makes the same pun every time, apparently. That's part of its fetish. That's how it gets off.
Yeah, it's like the fallen demon, right?
Yeah, it says time really does fly. Oh yeah, the fallen demon is really into that fucking another time thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That fucking song. Yeah,
I think demons are just into it, right?
Well, I mean, there is nothing
like
more evil than a dad pun.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like a bad name, like a bad Little League team name. I was about to say it's like a Wet Bandits calling card.
Right.
They have to have something cheesy so you know, like, oh no, it's the demon.
Yeah, exactly. And this demon, he turns people's eyes black, and he says a pun, and then he kills people.
If we're going to talk about overlap from the X-Files. Anyway.
Yeah. They do point out how you can't just open a fucking door in a plane, but I do want to point out they still maintain what I guess it's technically not what they're, it's just, he opens the door and the immediate thing is the plane nosedives. Like, it's just very funny because it still feels like that stereotype that opening a door in a plane immediately causes the plane to just completely fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he opens the door and then the plane is just like, we're going down.
I mean, it's not good.
It's not good.
And also we see what happens is
the
tail gets smashed off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's more of a coincidence. It's more of like there's a version where the demon opens the door and then nothing happens. Or, well, something happens, but the plane doesn't go down.
I feel like rapid decompression is going to be bad regardless.
It's not good. Again, none of it's good. But there are stories, like there's literally that shoe bomber, right? Who set off a bomb, and the only person who died was the shoe bomber. And I believe that had to do with being like blowing a hole in the plane. It's like a Mythbusters thing, which is, that idea of when people shoot a gun in a plane. It's not good,
right?
But it's not going to kill everybody on the plane. I don't know. The point is that the demon has seen all the same movies that we have, and I just think it would be very funny if the demon has to learn the hard way. But the demon does seem like an old hand at.
It's true, but it did kind of learn the hard way because it crashed a jumbo jet in a field and somehow didn't manage to kill 7 people on board, including the pilot.
Yeah, that is weird.
You crash a jumbo jet in a field and the pilot walks away?
The demon's weird is my point here.
Yeah.
Like, he's not doing the best job. Like, he only thinks to possess the pilot later. And I guess it's not, because
what's available to him. It's the thing, remember?
Right. But, like, I guess the emotional availability, I'm like, okay, fear of flying, but also, have you met anybody who's just gone through the airport system? He has everybody to choose from, in my opinion. Everybody is emotionally exposed after the airport.
Super true. You'd think maybe they'll get more into that as the series goes on, but yeah, you'd think like other types of extreme emotion would also make you susceptible, like anger. Aren't demons super into that? So like if you were super pissed about being in LAX for fucking 4 hours, wouldn't the demon find your like windows wide open?
I don't know. I'm not against his shtick because it is a funny shtick, right? Is you find people afraid of air travel, use them to crash planes, and then compound fear of air travel, and you're always eaten. Like this demon's always eaten.
It's not a bad racket. And honestly, like I think that's probably, considering the premise of this podcast, that's probably a good way to operate. Yeah. Like you want to do, like you were saying, you want to be able to eat forever, but you want to be able to eat without getting the himbo's attention.
Exactly.
Or people like the himbo's.
Yes. And this seems like a good way of doing it.
Right. Because like this demon's just kind of maintaining, like, it's like it's like a really modest, like, neighborhood crime operation.
For a demon, yes.
For a demon,
because it's not like planes don't, like, it's not like they need help crashing. They crash. I mean, not all the time. In the beginning, the guy says, "Don't worry, it's like a 20,000 to 1 chance of crashing."
Yeah, this absolute psychopath says something to this guy in the bathroom that you would never say to another human being in an airport.
Yeah. The
odds of dying in an airplane are only like 1 in 22,000.
There isn't. You asshole. Yeah.
I feel like it's even
on purpose.
I feel like it's an even less chance than that, but maybe that's true.
I think it's like millions. It's like millions to 1. And this guy gives it his 20,000 to 1.
Right, this guy gives him like the skydiving statistics, which are terrifyingly low if you've ever
Oh yeah.
Or high rather. I think is that's the right direction.
I've skydived once. I'd do it again, honestly, because it doesn't seem like the worst way to go if something goes wrong. It's pretty fast.
No, yeah, unless you fuck up and live like that kid in Drop Zone.
That's true. You don't want to Drop Zone.
The Wesley Snipes film, Drop Zone.
Yeah. Also, it's not really fast when there's like minutes of lead up. That doesn't count as fast.
The death itself will likely be fast, particularly like if you just Superman it. Like just kind of pose, angle down.
I'd aim for the funniest location.
Rocketeer it. Just arms flat at your side. Face up like a torpedo.
What would you aim for, Tom?
What's the funniest thing to aim for?
So I'd start with Parade. I'd look for Parade.
Parade's good. I was thinking of a big top. Like some sort of tent.
Stadium.
Circus tent.
a tennis game
A tennis
would be
game,
very
pretty
funny.
sweet. A golf, a PGA tournament, that'd be pretty great.
Oh yeah, or mini golf.
A pep
You just
rally.
land- Pep rally. Yeah,
Child's birthday party.
there you go. There you go. Ooh, a bouncy castle.
Just a bouncy cat. Just pierce it like a lawn dart. Like a shard from heaven.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of great options there.
Yeah. So the death is quick, but you do have a long time to think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, this just is an opening, huh? Boy, I wish they'd let me take my phone up. Kind of
Yeah.
like to call a few people.
Make a few calls, like at the ending of Crank. Oh shit. All right. That's all to say that I think we understand where the demon's coming from. Is
Right.
the point?
Yeah, the demon's trying to run an operation because that's what your job is as a demon. It's to sow chaos.
Yeah, and to have fun doing it.
Right. But
And
you can't be too flashy or else the Himbus come for you.
Exactly. And I guess we should talk about that. So, should we get to our next segment?
I think so. Let me double check my notes and make sure I didn't have anything else. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't recap the episode or anything. We just
No, not really. I just any odds and ends I'll throw in here, and it was basically just what we already talked about. How focused on planes specifically this demon is.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a real weird demon.
it only final destinations one of the 7 survivors because the rest of them just don't get on airplanes because they would never get on airplanes again.
Yes.
Like if you
And I wanted
survived a jumbo jet pancaking in a field, if you were one of 7 people that did that, you would never get on an airplane again.
It's funny to me because we'll talk about it, but like we're saying that the demon's ultra specific. It should be noted that Sam and Dean have no reason to know that. And so we'll get into that in the next segment. But this demon's like the Arizona iced tea of demons. He's just like, I got one thing.
99 cents, buddy.
99 cents.
Like-
It's working. Like it's like, Satan's just like Satan's in hell. Like you got to hand it to that guy. Like he knows his place. He's just he's focused.
I can't wait. I peeked ahead on some stuff. I can't wait for you to see who Satan is.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Also, what did this demon do before planes? Maybe this is a new demon. I don't know.
You have to change your gig up every couple of
Birds.
decades.
He did bird stuff.
Probably bird stuff. Yeah.
Birds need demons too.
Honestly, no. You know what? You know why you don't go full Final Destination is because that's how you get a Himbu on your trail.
It's true.
It's
true.
It's too much attention. Like if a pilot crashes a plane and then a month later he crashes a plane and is killed in that plane crash, it's a coincidence, but people will eventually say, well, he was just in a plane crash. He was the problem. You know?
Right.
Like people would think it was bad luck, but like if every survivor died in weird Final Destination ways, you're gonna get a Himbu at your door.
Yeah.
That's too flashy.
Let's talk about World's Hunkiest
Let's do it.
Detectives.
Yeah,
'Cause
let's do it.
I just want to point out, and this kind of is a little After Dark as well, but Dean, they listen to the flight recorder and you hear a demon voice go, no survivors. And Dean's reaction is, well, that's bullshit. There were survivors. That's dumb. And like moves on. And it's like, I think the demon's telling you what it plans to do next. And maybe you should think about, they're just like, well, that demon's wrong. And that's all to say that there is no indication throughout that the demon's going to stop at plain stuff. It just does.
Yeah.
And they are, I guess this goes into lucky. I guess they're lucky that they don't bother to check in with any of the other survivors after the demon said no survivors specifically. But this starts with Jerry, friend of their dad,
Just
being like,
calling out of the blue.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got another. You remember that poltergeist thing you solved for me? Like they might as well be talking about. You really saved my bacon back in Budapest. Like,
yes. Jerry is low-key the most unhinged person in this episode because he's just some guy and he's just like, hey, you know how you helped me out with that poltergeist? Well, here's a fucking plane crash. Not for you, for your sons. Like he called their dad and their dad was like, yeah, just have my sons handle it.
yeah, just have Dean do it. I'm following the dead on tour this summer.
Yeah. And so Jerry, this just very amazing man, is just like, yeah, because your dad helped with a poltergeist, I think it's cool for you to help with a fucking airplane crash, and I'm going to put my entire career on the line just giving you access.
Right, because I think this plane crash is a little spooky. Now,
yep.
Please keep in mind, this is 5 years after 9/11.
Yes. And we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, listen, if you think Homeland Security doesn't get involved, they get involved, folks. But I want to note, when he plays the flight recorder, both Sam and Dean have the most serious faces, and I'm pretty sure in that moment they are realizing that they are way in over their heads.
Oh yeah,
like it doesn't even matter what the bad guy, the Boogan, is going to be. They just have realized, like, we shouldn't be here. Like, we should not be listening to a flight recorder and trying to solve a plane accident. Right.
They're
now.
in like the office of like an FCC person or something. No, I forget what he was. Oh no, I think he's like part of the company that manufactures the airplane. Regardless, they're like, they're violating like federal aviation law.
Yes. It's sinking in. Because then they are like, well, fake it to make it. And so they pretend to be Homeland Security. That is their first disguise. And when they do it, Sam even says, pretty illegal, even for us.
Oh, yeah. I love that move as Jerry tells him he can't get them access to the airplane wreckage. So Dean immediately takes them all to like Copytron to get fake IDs made.
Yeah.
He prints his fake IDs inside Kinko's, which
Homeland
is like
Homeland
Security IDs in 2006.
Yeah.
When people were still seeing Al Qaeda everywhere.
They might as well print out paper fake mustaches, because it's like, there's no way
they may as well be printing $100 bills.
Yeah, there's no way they have successfully approximated a Homeland Security ID in a Kinko's. They are going to Guantanamo Bay.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're going to get black-sighted. They're going to be in a cell next to fucking Alex Krycek and Mulder.
Yeah.
That's something I wanted to say a second ago, is Jerry is a pure X-Files freak. Like, he is a Chuck. He is somebody that Mulder would have called upon at some point, or somebody who would have kicked Mulder cases. Anyway.
Oh, 100%. Luckily, they're not. The only people they start talking to are just civilians. So, like, they are, yes, pretending to be Homeland Security.
To the hangar.
Not yet. We'll get to that. That's when they have to buy suits. When they are like, we better actually do fraud. It's just very funny. They do the incremental fraud where they say, let's print out Homeland Security, and then they just go to the institution that one of the survivors at, and they do the thing where they're like, we're Homeland Security, we're dressed in a leather jacket
with lots of rings.
Yeah.
They also do good himbo, bad himbo here on Zach in the psychiatric hospital. Dean is like, oh, so you don't remember what happened, huh? You didn't see anything? Sounds like bullshit. And then Sam leans in all gentle and he's like, hey, guy, why don't you tell us what you think you saw?
It's really weird, because my first thought, if Homeland Security showed up in the place I have, the institution that I checked myself in, they're acting like they might think this guy caused the accident at first, right? It's like you're hiding something from us. This guy who really feels, and then they're like, did you hear voices or see strange lights? I don't know what they're fishing for. Maybe UFO stuff. I don't know what they think happened at first too.
Well, they think it's, I think at this point, they don't think
it's a demon yet.
I think at this point they know it's some sort of haunting, like a spirit of some type. So I think they're probably just going through the Rolodex of what they think it might be. Yeah. But so it just comes out like you have these two Homeland Security agents who are coming to talk to you after you're one of 7 survivors of a plane crash in the more or less immediate aftermath of 9/11. So
yeah, and they're dressed like they're going to go clubbing after this.
Yeah, which is fun. Later on, the real Homeland Security agents are the same age.
Yeah, which is very funny.
They were also guys in their 20s.
I feel like they had to do that so the audience wouldn't think about it too hard. Of like, yeah, they're also himbos. Like this is This is a world where if you work
They were
for the
hiring
government, you're a
himbos
hunk.
back then. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were just trying to stock Homeland Security with nothing but hunks.
So they talk to the widow of the guy who was possessed. I just have to note Sam really uses his sensitive voice here. He's doing that thing.
He really does. He does it a lot in this episode.
Right, and then finally
they
like,
do bad boy himbo, sensitive himbo a lot.
A lot. It finally occurs to them that they have to see the wreckage, and this is where they go like, I guess we have to finally buy suits, which means that up until this point, they were aware of this fact that like most of the time they didn't have to try very hard
they don't look
to do fraud.
Right. But they seem to realize that this is like sort of like a new level of the fraud game.
Right. And they're like, listen, these guys aren't going to care how hunky we are. We have to actually
they
look
may.
the part. Yeah, they may.
But we can't lean entirely on that.
Yeah, exactly. Like they know they have to present more. So they have to be hunky in a suit, which that works, even though they're presenting their Kinko's ass fucking IDs. One assumes you scan those or something.
No, the guard is too dazzled. He's dazzled by these male models in Men in Black suits coming in to look at the airplane crash.
They let them in the... They just let them in the unoccupied warehouse.
Yep.
Nobody else there.
Just the simple act of purchasing suits while listening to Power Man 5000 gains them access to a top secret plane crash site using fake IDs they made at Kinko's earlier that afternoon.
Mulder should have thought of this decades ago. Just dress a little nicer, Mulder. That's all. Just smile. You just smile, Mulder.
I think Mulder doesn't
kill you to smile.
Mulder doesn't realize how much work the suit was doing for him, I think.
Oh yeah. But like I think if he had just been a little more charming, Mulder probably could have gotten very far. He probably
he needed to study some himbo sleuthing for sure.
Yeah.
He could have leaned into his himbo-ness, but he's just too much of a weird little freak.
Right. So now these motherfuckers are wandering through the wreckage of a plane like they have any business knowing what any of that is.
Waving
touching things.
Waving his little spook 'em up Walkman around to see if he could detect ghosts in this plane crash.
His fucking weird, like he made it himself, like he's fucking Egon. Just like I made a ghost detector.
Yeah. Also, I don't know where else this would go, but like, wouldn't 100 people died on that airplane?
Yeah.
There may be a lot of ghosts.
Yeah, you're right. That reader, he's like, I'm picking up like 100
Man, this thing
ghosts.
is loud.
Yeah. I don't know. And that's the thing. Later it works to detect a demon, and I'm not sure how that works either. Because they still don't know they're looking for a demon here. They look at the handle of the door. And I guess I want to note something about this, and it's not out of the realm of possibility, but that door was the first thing to come off that plane. It's nowhere near the wreckage. Like
no,
that
it would
door
be miles away.
Flying. But I guess
it might
that
even
doesn't mean they
conceivably
can't.
be in another state.
Yeah. It doesn't mean they might. Maybe they found it.
They would put it in the
playground.
same hangar as the rest of it for sure. But yeah, it's
a lucky break.
Right. You imagine they would have had a time finding that door.
Yeah. The guy's his arm is still wrapped around it, probably. Yeah. So
where did that guy land?
Oh my goodness. Who can say? The demon, I assume, was still possessing him the whole time. It was probably giggling the entire time, doing the aiming game, probably doing the game we talked about.
What probably happened is it rocketeered him and then left.
Yeah.
So he wakes up rocketeering into the ground.
I have a lot of questions about this demon, if I'm being honest. I know this isn't about that, but the demon seems to travel like black smoke. And that implies the demon travels at all. Like it's the rule is the demon has to physically enter your body, right?
Yes.
And that implies that the demon has to like slowly waft across the country back to the airport.
I guess so.
Because it's 40 minutes into the flight, they learn. And how long is that like
when you're going 600 miles an hour.
Yeah. Like driving distance, that's like 40 minutes is like LA to Vegas. So it's like, unless it's hitching a ride, it's having to like walk slowly or drift slowly back to the airport. I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot of questions for how this demon operates, but whatever.
I mean, it hitchhikes.
So yeah. Or he fallens. He just is a fallen person to person, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe when he jumps out of that plane, he's like, all right, let's see how far I can fling this body back in the other direction. So I don't have to fucking
tries to glide all the way back to the airport.
Yeah. Flying squirrels, that shit.
He starts packing a base jumping suit with him every time he gets on a plane to crash it.
So they figure out that the flight attendant, who's a babe,
Natch.
Yeah, they realize
Natch.
that totally
Super
Natch,
Natch.
bro. They realize that the demon's going after the survivors because they finally go like, man, what if by saying no survivors, the demon means no survivors? Like, again, it takes them a minute because they've been skating by in their looks. And so they call the flight attendant and do straight up serial killer shit.
Oh, yeah.
He pretends to be Dr. James Hetfield and then says that her loved one was in a fucking accident.
Her sister.
Yes. That really is like, get in the car, Timmy, your parents were in an accident.
Yeah,
behavior.
I'm a friend of your dad's.
Yeah. That is dark. That is
Also, James Hetfield is not an obscure name.
No. And to this flight attendant's credit, she immediately is like, you're lying.
Yeah,
you're a liar.
You're lying.
This is what liars say.
She instantly pegs him as a himbo. Because she's like, you're so-and-so's friend, aren't you? And then Dean sees his opening. He's like, aha. She thinks I'm a himbo, but she doesn't know I'm a himboo. So let me lean into my himbo-ness. And so he just leans into that. When your hunkiness closes a door, it opens a window.
Exactly. And that is the key thing here, is this is the perfect this is the perfect example of the himbo fraud method.
He's even hunky over the phone. Dave.
He's hunky over the phone. He calls, and at first he's like, I'm a doctor. Your sister's in an accident. And she's like, you're a himbo, aren't you?
She buys it at first.
That's what you are.
It falls apart, but initially, because he's simply so hunky, it starts
and
to
then
work.
She's like, you're my ex-boyfriend's himbo friend, aren't you? And he's like, yes, that's who I am. And he just stacks his fraud on top of another fraud. And so it's all to say that she doesn't believe him as a doctor or a professional, but she absolutely believes him as a himbo friend of her ex.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
play what you know.
Exactly. They try to pressure her to go to quit her job, basically, to go see him. And
it was a desperate gambit. Yeah.
Yeah. So they conclude we have to go talk to this flight attendant.
He's hunky enough, though, that she agrees she will fucking call this guy after she lands. So
he's hunky enough that he basically mends this relationship that he has no business.
No idea why they broke up.
Right. He could be
a monster.
Yeah.
He may have conjured this demon.
Yeah. They get on the plane, they himbo right in her face.
Oh yeah, Dean can't resist. He just goes a tumbling.
Yeah, and he's just like, what's up? You scared of flying? He has to say Christ in Latin.
Christo.
Yeah, Christo. And I want to note that
Latin
it really,
Jehovah begins with an I. Oh dear. Right, because when they say, if a demon will flinch at God's name, I was like, so he's going to have to know to say Jehovah. But then they say Christo.
Christo, which I don't know what to believe anymore.
I know.
Yeah. But I just want to note, this is another good example of how they've been clearly getting by on their looks and how little effort goes into the fraud. Because he just talks to her, and then he goes, Christo. And she's like, what? And he's like, never mind, and walks away. Just like, I thought of an excuse for him on the spot. Just say oh, that's a type of wine. Do you have it? He can't think of a way to work in that word into the conversation. And I just want to note how little he ever has to think about this. It doesn't matter. He just says Cristo at her. She looks at him like he's weird. He walks away, but she's going to talk to him again because he's a hunk. It doesn't matter.
Right.
He's a hunk.
And he has a dazzlingly hunky conversation with her before that.
Right.
Like he goes in and completely disarms her with his hunkiness because he is genuinely afraid of flying.
Yes. Yes, he's using his...
So he's using
his
it to his
sense of-
advantage. She comes in there and starts talking to her about being afraid of flying.
Then they have to convince because they're like, okay, she's not the demon. We have to. They figure out that it's the fucking co-pilot, and they're like, we have to convince the flight attendant to help us, essentially kidnap the co-pilot.
So excited to talk about it. Well, I think that is going to go in another section, right?
I guess it's both because we're talking about fraud and like, yeah, you're right.
What they actually do.
It's just, I want to note that they do a series of unhinged things, and she's fine with it.
She rolls with it because they're simply too dreamy. Like they use their combined himbo powers to convince Amanda, the flight attendant, to violate federal aviation law once again, and lure the co-pilot out of the cockpit. Remember, once again, this is 5 years after 9/11.
Yeah. Their conversation with her literally starts with Dean pushing her into a nook and going, "I'm not going to hurt you."
It doesn't start with it. They say a couple of things first, but then that happens.
Yeah, what they're essentially doing is using their good looks to have a flight attendant agree to aid a hijacking.
Yes.
Yeah.
They hunk her so much. They hunk her into hijacking the plane for them with 12 minutes remaining.
Yes. And I want to note that there's no reason, there's even points, they try to do this thing where she's like, he is a demon. But the first thing they do to this guy is they pin him down and they pour water on him, which is holy water that starts sizzling.
But she goes, know that.
He must be a demon. She concludes that. She doesn't go, oh my God, you're pouring acid on him.
You brought acid onto the plane.
Yeah.
My God,
we're in the height of anthrax scares. This
2006, man.
Yeah,
the war on terror is still brand new.
In the end, she thanks them for this, and
right in front of the FBI agent. Like the FBI agent is looking at her, writing down notes as she is looking directly at Sam and Dean and mouthing "thank you." Like it's amazing. The FBI agent just look over at them, and be like, "Hey, wait, where are you two guys going?"
No, because the FBI looks over and goes, "Oh, she must be thanking him for being so hunky." I got it.
They're so dreamy. Yeah, FBI agent mouths thank you to them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just so hunky. My goodness.
So yeah, it's just a fucking, I don't know. It's just wild that they convinced this flight attendant, and she comes out of it being like, yeah, demons exist. Based on not that much. Like, does she see the demon float? Does she see the little...
No.
Okay.
She gets scullied.
Okay, yeah.
She has to go on the other side of the curtain to make sure the passengers don't see or hear what they're doing.
Yes.
Which there's no way they didn't see or hear what they're doing.
They are so hunky that they have seemingly hypnotized an entire plane.
Yes. It's like group hypnosis or like group hysteria. Yeah. Like they're all just under the spell of these two dreamy ass hunks. And you kind of would be. Like if you were on the plane with these two beautiful men and they stood up and been like, look, we have 12 minutes to get the co-pilot out of the cockpit. Everyone on that flight would be pulling the door open.
Yes. It really, it's really quite
surely
something.
Their intentions are pure. Look at them.
They could have hijacked this plane easily. They could have flown this plane into any building they wanted. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Because they
would have cleared airspace for them. They could have let them know they were flying the plane to the White House.
Yes. We're dancing around an amateur sky exorcism. And the thing is, it's kind of like you ever be on a plane and you go to the bathroom and you realize like, oh, no one could ever fuck in these bathrooms privately. Like that just, I'm sure people have pulled it off.
Oh, you
but
absolutely
generally
can't.
Speaking,
It's so loud.
Yeah.
Planes are so loud you can get away with it.
Oh, that's true. The loudness of the engines.
Yeah.
It's more of just like you're so like people. So many people would see you go in. People go in.
That's the thing that you can't get away with.
It's not like movie planes. Planes aren't like movie planes. And this plane,
they're always way more cramped.
Yeah. And even the plane they're depicting here, you're just like, there's no way you can do an exorcism privately on a plane.
No.
And this episode has to pretend you can. And what that really equates to is, an entire plane kind of looking the other way because these guys are so hunky that whatever they're doing is
power.
Fine. Yeah.
Oh, man. I was about to say they coasted through school, but they didn't go to school.
No. And then the episode ends with the plane not going down, but almost. And then Jerry is just like, thanks, guys. I guess demons exist. Bye. And
Jerry already knew
rocks.
demons existed.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, he knew poltergeists existed.
Man,
I want to know what Jerry is.
If you know poltergeists exist, then you're kind of open to everything, right?
I suspect because Jerry looks like an accountant, and I feel like if Jerry took off his shirt, it'd be like the guy in The Frighteners. Like I feel like Jerry is a freak, and there's like a secret freak, and we're not. He'd be up there like, my body is a road map of pain.
The guy in The Frighteners. You mean Jeffrey Combs?
Jeffrey Combs, yes.
But yeah, you're probably
I'm just
right.
so curious of what kind of fucking freak Jerry is.
He's like, I feel like I pegged him as one of Mulder's creeps. I feel like he's a cross between like Chuck and Jerry LaManna, and not just because they share the name Jerry.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, I guess
hope we
can
see
get
him
to
again.
that.
I really do.
Oh, me too. Oh my God. Well, it's only if there's more plane crimes, I guess.
It's kind of
he's a plane guy.
Yeah, that's true, and a poltergeist guy.
Yeah, that's true.
I was hoping it was going to be because they kind of do like the poltergeist Easter egg in the beginning where somebody's like, "Hey, I love that movie." So I was thinking, "Oh, it's going to be a poltergeist in the plane," but no, it's a demon, like
sky demon
crashing it. But it would have been funny if it was, because then it would have been like Jerry is essentially just that Boss Baby meme. Like, I'm getting a real poltergeist vibe from this.
Oh, yeah.
Like every haunting is a poltergeist to him.
Yeah. Oh, Jerry. I want a Jerry show. Jerry spinoff.
Yeah, man.
Should we get into it?
I think we should. We should go into our overhead compartments and get out that saxophone.
Yeah, because it's time for Him Booze After Dark. Oh, yeah. Slip into that sax like it's a knife under your bed.
Hey, man, it's being, what did you say? It's being cautious.
Yeah, all right, just real quick.
Should we work in reverse? Or no, okay, we're going to start with the knife. Okay.
Oh, since we're just talking about it, this is quick. Dean sleeps fully clothed on his bed with a knife under his pillow.
He's not fully clothed. He was in his boxer briefs, wasn't he? Did we get a glorious himbo cake shot?
Oh, maybe we did.
He definitely sleeps like Marty McFly for sure. Like he's face down in the weirdest position.
But the knife, I just want to, when he was like, it's for protection. I guess my question is, from what? What is the most like, do demons react to knives? Do ghosts? And I guess I had to conclude that it feels like it's mostly protection from Sam more than it's protection from anything else. Or is he just like scared of crime?
I think it's a combination of things. He grew up on the road, right? So it's sort of like boxcar hobo rules, where it's like and also just generally, like if you're kind of sleeping in your car, you never know. But also, I think definitely like the way Sam behaves in the previous episodes and continues to behave in this episode. Yeah, it might be because of Sam.
Yeah. But you're right. Also, he has the vibes of like, you ever see those TikToks of like women like doing these like ultra secure sweeps of hotel rooms and how to and like putting chairs in front of the doors and being like
it's a PTSD thing too. Like people sleep with weapons under their pillows when you've had some sort of like, and it's not, we can't say that Dean hasn't been through traumatic shit. So like honestly, we're picking on him. There's a couple of reasons he might have this knife, but I do like the idea. Because one of those reasons could genuinely be, I don't want to fall asleep with Sam in the room.
Well, that's the thing. If there was ghosts and demons, was he thinking about, there'd be like a cross or like some sage or something. Might be a
silver knife or I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. But then it's, again, I guess, yeah, werewolves.
A lot of Boogans will be vulnerable to that, but like, not everything.
It's not, it's better safe. Like, if I were Dean, I would also be thinking about this. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just a funny choice.
There's only so many things you can keep under a pillow, I guess. Like, you can't keep a full, like, Van Helsing crossbow under his pillow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, a remedy for every single type of Boogans.
Right.
So I guess you'd be better off just getting the weapon that works on some Boogans, but on every single person that might be trying to go through your stuff.
Yeah. And Sam.
And Sam, primarily Sam. Although I have a feeling it does need to be silver or at least ceremonial to damage Sam.
That's true. So they do a terrorism in this.
What I didn't want Dave to say in the last thing is that what happens when they get the co-pilot out of the cockpit? Is Amanda, the flight attendant, walks him back there. She has no idea. They haven't explained anything to her.
They have not told her what they're about to do to this
They just say, there's no time. Just get the co-pilot out here. We need to talk to him. So they have not told her that the co-pilot is possessed. So what they do is scoop tackle the man and start beating the shit out of him.
Yeah. They
like
duct tape
punching him in the face. Then they duct tape his mouth closed.
Now I want to, again.
And start pouring what seems to be acid on him.
Post 9/11, I have to note that this is a tremendous failure of TSA.
Right.
Because there's a part where Sam, one of them basically goes like, go get stuff from the trunk. Anything you can get through that's exorcism based. I'll get us tickets. And so what this is two grown men checking in through the TSA with no luggage except for probably like a duffel bag that contains apparently like half bottles of liquid, duct tape, and I don't know what else, like rough exorcism equipment, whatever.
His
that
exorcism
tape recorder.
journal. Yeah. His Walkman. It's a Walkman.
Yeah. There's just the TSA really failed us here.
It's a one-way ticket. I bought 2 one-way tickets with just the clothes on their back.
Yeah, absolutely not. We're not letting you
pay
fly.
In cash.
Yeah. They're like, IDs, please. And they're like,
hand them Homeland Security badges.
Yeah.
Sam accidentally hands them his student ID first. Oh, sorry, here.
I want to note another thing. Okay. So it really is hard not to stress that they try to hijack an airplane.
I want to hit it again. They're beating the shit out of the co-pilot. They don't even wait. Like, as soon as he walks out there, he's like, what seems that they scoop tackle? Like, she's barely closed the curtain. They don't.
And she's like,
do not
oh my
care.
God, what are you guys doing?
Right? They don't explain themselves. They're like, it's no time. Just get on the other side of the curtain.
Yeah.
They do not care who sees or hears this.
And you know, she in that moment is thinking, oh my God, did I just cause enough? Yeah. Because this is about the himbo of it all. We've talked about this certain times where there are women who will like find themselves just alone in the woods with them and probably have a moment where they go like, oh shit.
Right, yeah, in the Wendigo
Am I going to get murdered?
Yeah.
And this is a good moment of like, she's drawn into like, yeah, the co-pilot. You got to get him. He's going to bring down the plane. And then she must have a moment being like, oh, wait.
It's the moment when Michael Shannon strikes the match in Bug.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, oh, right.
I made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Precisely that. And so, like, oh my God, this poor lady. But again, it's really
tackle.
Just start beating him. Like, you're gonna beat the out of him. Like it's wild because it's like I don't think the demon's super strong. I don't think it feels pain. I think the only person who will feel the pain is the man inside.
Oh, they're pummeling this man. Like when you notice when the demon leaves him, he's out. He doesn't get up.
No,
it's because Dean has punched him in the jaw like 5 times.
Yes.
Before they're done with the exorcism.
That guy's going to go home, go to sleep, and never wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might never get off that floor.
Yeah. I think they show him at the end real quick because they want to show, like, they show the guy be like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that because of the demon possession or maybe because you got punched in the skull 7 times?
Honestly, I'm amazed you can talk. Like,
yeah.
He is pinned down completely. No way to defend himself. Just can't get his arms up. Just full on punched in the jaw 5 times by Dean
co-pilot.
Winchester.
Yep.
He's a co-pilot. The other guy is Soldier Boy. He's getting punched in the fucking jaw.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
While his goddamn redwood brother screams Latin at him.
Yeah. And this is the flight attendant who, I don't know. I'm sure there's cameras and stuff on planes, right? Like
no,
you get post 9/11.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
It's just wild that
just the
there's
flight
no
recorder.
witnesses of this. Yeah, I guess so. But weirdly enough, I want to note another thing about how we get to this point that I think is just as egregious.
Is it when Sam casts a god spell that strikes the plane with lightning?
That's actually part of it, a big part of it. I want to note that at the beginning of this,
okay,
when they realize it's a demon, the first thing they do is Google demons. And Dean says, this isn't our normal gig, this is big. And I guess what I'm realizing is that they don't know what they're doing. They are being met with a demon. And they're like, and their first instinct is to Google demons and just try to figure it out for themselves. This just has all the makings of I can fix my own car vibes, right? Where it's like,
he's
no,
on
you need to,
right?
Yeah, you need to call somebody immediately who can deal with this. You are dealing with a demon bringing down an airplane. You are currently pretending to be Homeland Security. You need to step aside and go, okay, perhaps this is too big.
I don't think they deal with demons. I think supernatural fans are probably yelling at me right now, but I think that like becomes part of the show.
Demons later become
right.
This is like, yes,
right. But I mean, at this point, like when they were traveling with their dad and stuff, I don't think they've ever dealt with demons really.
Dean literally says, "This isn't our normal gig.
Right? Yeah.
This is big." They don't know anything about demons.
To
and
the point
right now,
where they're Googling it.
Yes, and right now, an entire plane is at stake, and they don't go, we better call someone who knows more than us or get somebody else involved. They just go, all right, well, let's go ahead and do this. And they create an amateur fucking improvised demon exorcism on a plane. Well, hijacking, I guess what I'm saying is that hijacking a plane, they're essentially doing the equivalent of that in the spirit world side too.
Yes.
Like they are in no way. It's the equivalent
because the pilot is the same person in both worlds,
right? They're doing a fraud that isn't just like pretending to be Homeland Security. They're also doing a spiritual fraud by pretending to be exorcists. Is what I'm saying. Is that they are in over their head in both senses of the two worlds.
We don't know that they're not ordained.
That's true. They probably got ordained real quick.
Well, actually, no. If they were, then Dean would be able to bless his own holy water. So
they bring in holy water. You're right.
I do want to point out that everything you're saying is true. They don't try to call anybody, although in fairness, they have been trying to call their dad, and he's just not picking up.
Right, and time is of the essence. Like here, I will say this, is that they do some fucked up shit in this, but like when you consider the stakes,
the gun.
yeah. But we'll get to it when we talk about the rating system. I realize, like, just because they have good intentions doesn't mean they didn't do
doesn't mean they
crimes.
didn't hijack an airplane.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean you didn't hijack the gondola.
But it just can't be understated how over their heads they are about this. And, like, it's just really funny. Like, there's later when they're like, Jerry is like, the demon must have been after Chuck, my friend. And they're like, cool, yeah, he's after Chuck. And they just sort of agree and like move on. And it's again, like it's just clear that they don't really know anything about demons. And they've decided that the demon is after Chuck. And since Chuck's dead, they're like, all right, well, that's taken care of. Like, they're really just improvising here with the demon stuff. And it just feels dangerous. It's a demon.
Trying to do your own electrical work.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, guys. Maybe you need to bow out of this demon one.
The thing that I wanted to say is Dean is like, oh, this is it's our normal gig. This is big. And like Dean is nervous about getting on the plane, and you know, Dean is the one who's like, maybe we should like not jump right onto the plane. Like Sam forces Dean onto the airplane. Like,
yes. He guilts him. He's like, well, if you're not gonna, I guess I'll do it.
Like,
bye forever, I guess.
He never reacts to any of it.
No, and he doesn't like calm his breath. Later, he's like, dude, you're open to demon possession right now.
Stay calm.
Bro.
And he knows the plane is going to crash. He knows the plane will crash. He is
right.
He's completely emotionless. Like Dean is worried about like they're in over their heads. Sam is not. Completely stone-faced. Dean's worried about getting on the airplane. A, because he's afraid of flying. B, because they know the plane is going to crash. And Sam does not care.
It's very funny because I'm not an expert in why people are afraid of flying, but it's a funny thing to add where they're getting on a plane that they know is going to crash, and Dean's like, oh, God, I'm scared of flying. And it's like, I think we're all scared of flying right now, right? If we're getting on the doomed flight, like, you're scared of flying because you're scared it might crash. We know it's going to crash. So I guess it's weird that factors in, but it's what you're saying, which Sam is like, come on, don't be a wuss.
Yeah.
And it's like, Sam, you also know it's going to crash and you have 40 minutes to figure it out. I don't know.
When he's reading, like the plane is crashing, like it is going down after they've done their exorcism. The book gets kicked away, so they've only done half of it. So the demon is just loose inside the plane now, and it's just crashing the plane itself. And this is when Sam is just kneeling down in the middle of the aisle as the plane is like nosediving, and he just sits there and reads his God spell, and the plane gets struck by lightning.
Yeah,
and obliterates the demon, I guess, and it rights itself, and he doesn't even flinch, Dave.
Nope. Well, because
he
there's
is a
like
gorgeous spider.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Nothing going on in there emotion wise. He's like Data from Star Trek.
Yeah, he's got nothing. He would have sat there looking straight ahead with his hands in his lap as the plane crashed.
Yeah. Humming a tune.
Just silently, just staring straight.
Like, well, off to hell I go. I want to know when you said the demon,
like Rorschach. You're locked in here with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did hell like fucking Scorpion. They blew his mom up and his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, no. He's like,
they don't
here
want
I
him
fucking
anywhere near
come hell.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, I just want to stress when you said that the lightning got rid of the demon, you guess. And I do want to know, again, they're not demon experts. And this sort of ends with them just going, well, that's that.
I guess it worked.
And again, I'm not even sure the demon isn't going to kill the other survivors just because they're not on a plane. Like we're sort of assuming that the demon is like a plane fetishist because we see it do plane stuff.
Yeah.
But like they just sort of go like, we called the other survivors. They're not going to get on a plane, so they're safe. And I was like, according to what? What legend? What demon are you citing? Like, what tome are you reading off of? You don't. They admitted we don't know anything about demons. We're Googling them. We're in over our head, and then they just start making assumptions.
Yeah,
and then they go, "We did it. Bye." And again, it's like, did you? Is that flight attendant going to die the moment she steps on another plane?
She might die the moment they turn their backs.
Yeah.
That's just their hunkiness, man. Their hunkiness gives them such confidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have written down that they drive 5 hours to rescue a hot flight attendant.
Yep.
Dean does specifically.
I want to know, I just realized why they got through TSA. Because of the hunkiness. Because
they're hot.
They're x-raying their exorcism kit and they're just staring at how beautiful they are.
As they're seeing like this fucking, the Van Helsing crossbow go by.
Duct tape, crossbow, yeah. They definitely had duct tape. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the no-nos. Like, pretty sure if you try to get duct tape through TSA, they'll go, absolutely not.
Not as a carry-on.
No.
Like in your luggage, probably. But
yeah. The luggage you didn't bring.
Right. Your non-luggage. Your pockets, I guess, is your luggage. The second half of that Dean drives 5 hours to rescue a hot flight attendant. Sam really doesn't want to. Sam is sitting there pointing out that they'll never make it in time. Sam is ready to abandon the flight attendant.
Yes. We do get a reversal when Dean is like, because he's so scared of flying, he's willing to just accept that it's over. Where I think Dean goes like, maybe the demon took another flight. And he's like, I'm willing to accept that, which is a wild thing to accept when there's like 11 minutes left before they die.
He really doesn't want to fly.
Yeah. But yeah, Dean, it feels like, as always, I think Sam, all Dean has to do is go, I don't want to do this. And Sam will be like, yeah, neither do I, actually. Let's go. Like, Sam is in any given situation. I feel like once they've solved the thing, it's the Mulder thing, where like he's fine moving on.
He's our Mulder, I think.
Yeah, once he loses interest, he doesn't care how many lives are on the line. He'll just be like, nah.
Yeah, but I think in this situation, the reason it sort of switches and Sam's like, no, you're getting on this plane with me. Get on this plane. What are you talking about? Is this is a revenge rampage.
Yeah, that's true.
The
Demon did kill his girlfriend.
The Supernatch has killed his mom and his girlfriend. So when they're this close to a Boogans, he's drooling like Pennywise.
Yes, that's
he's
true.
He's like, no, get your ass on this plane. We're killing this ghost.
Yeah, we're going to humiliate
Bring your
this
ghost
demon.
gun.
Yeah.
See if you get your ghost gun through TSA. He probably could have.
Yeah.
Just purse those dazzling, pillowy lips at them, Dean.
Is that all for...
I'm seeing, we already talked about Dean's EMF meter using his broken Walkman. I just have written down or at least it's what he told us. At least it's what he's telling Sam. He might be listening to the Fat Boys for all we know.
More likely, yes.
Also, the very first conversation that they have in this episode is when Sam walks in with coffee as Dean is asleep, cape first in the air. Mm-hmm. Just beautiful sculpted cheeks. Dean is like, you're not there. They have a conversation about how Sam's not sleeping well because, his girlfriend exploded.
Right.
And Dean is like, are you still having nightmares? And Sam's like, yeah. And then Dean's like, you can't take the work home with you. Yes. It's like his girlfriend exploded.
It's Dean's being a real Sam here, where he's just like, me, I always kind of live in a state of terror, but it's fine. Like Dean is he's just like, you gotta shut off.
Of fear.
Yeah, you gotta shut off. Yeah, I sleep with my clothes on and I put a knife under my pillow, but you can't let that stuff get to you.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, Dean is the one who, throughout so far, has been the real, anytime, he thinks apologizing for something is womanly. He's like the poster child for toxic masculinity so far, where he's the one. We haven't maintained a bitch count, but he's the one who keeps calling ghosts bitch.
Oh, he will continue to do so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He may even make a prison rape joke or two. Who knows?
Oh yeah. It's weird how it feels like we didn't stress enough the hijacking. I guess we can in the next segment.
We will,
too.
yeah. There's one more thing I wanted to hit is that Sam also agrees, or seems to agree, that he shouldn't be taking his work home with him. Like Sam seems to also be like, you're right, I should be over this.
Yeah. I'm being selfish. I'm being dumb.
The inside of his body is just a hive of spiders, Dave.
Yep.
Just crawling around his rib cage.
It's like in the fucking Friday the 13th movie where he go inside of Jason. It's like the inside of Jason Voorhees' body. It's the same thing.
Ironically, he's the one that's in Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Sam, he's in. We haven't got to it yet in Mask Holes.
He's in a Friday the 13th.
He's in the reboot.
Fuck yeah,
he's
that's
the main
exciting.
dude in the reboot. He's the guy looking for his missing sister.
Holy shit. Terrific news.
He's taller than Jason.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why didn't you make that gigantic motherfucker, Jason?
Sam, for context, and maybe we already said
Handsome
this
Jason,
Sam.
we're ready for it.
Sam is the guy that if you saw him in a Scream movie, you'd go, well, that's him.
Well, he's
that's
the
Ghostface.
murderer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't be able to disguise it, too. Like, Ghostface would be running around. It's like, oh, he's giant. Ghostface is 6'6". I wonder who he is.
I wonder which one. This massive
I can
sociopath.
feel that you're handsome through the mask. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Like,
goddamn.
Turn it down.
Fucking dumber ass Sam.
That's all I have.
All right. It's time for Bustin'. It's time to talk about just the laws broken. And I guess, terrorism. Again, when I say they would go to Guantanamo Bay, they would go to Guantanamo Bay.
They would literally go to Guantanamo Bay. Like, that's probably true for impersonating Homeland Security agents in 2006.
Yes, and
you wouldn't
so
get
look
a
at the trail. They impersonate. So here's the trail. There's a plane accident. Then these two guys impersonate Homeland Security, interview the victims, break in, basically sneak their way into the wreckage,
examine the wreckage, yeah,
and then get on a plane, assault the co-pilot, and the plane almost goes down.
Plane.
Yes, and the plane almost goes down. They're going to Guantanamo, or they're going to the Guantanamo Bay that we don't even know about.
Right.
They're getting memory hold. They're gone forever.
They're gonna appear in old photographs later, and there's gonna be like a Netflix special.
Yeah.
About like, all right, did Sam and Dean really survive?
They're on the raft. They're rotating. They're orbiting our planet.
They're on the fucking raft.
In space.
Yeah. They're in the negative zone with Zod.
Yeah.
Like in that pane of glass, just like fucking floating.
They're gonzo.
Oh man, yeah. Those are pretty much the main ones.
Yep.
Those are pretty major. Fucking hijacking a plane. 4 episodes in.
Yeah, they're done. They're
casting a spell on it.
Yes. Well, that's
Sam
the other factor.
casts a spell on that airplane.
That's the other factor.
We're 4 episodes in, Dave. He's wielding magic. I can't wait for the rest of this show.
I don't know the laws of the demon world, but I also want to note that an exorcism is probably up there with hijacking a plane in the demon realm. You know what I mean? So it's like they're breaking both. It's
like a
the
Saw
laws.
murder. It's a Saw murder in the ghost world.
Yeah.
In the demon world.
Like they're really like they managed to in this episode get on the map of Homeland Security and Satan. Like they're both being pinged right now. Both the president is being presented a file and Satan is being presented a file on them
by the same person.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. Yeah. And
Cheney and Rumsfeld.
Yeah. And they're in between a rock and a hard place right now. They're just Man, that is not good. It's not good for them. They need to lay low for a while after this.
Wait until they rob a bank.
Yep. Well, I guess on that subject, it's time for America's Ghost Wanted. This is where we give them between 1 and 5 pentagrams, like a GTA star rating.
GTA Rampage.
Yeah.
But pentagrams, because it's spooky.
Right, and both the human world and the ghost world. And as we sort of just talked about, I do think, even again, their hand was forced here. They conduct an exorcism on a demon and hijack a plane.
I think this might be a 5.
I think this might be a 5-star.
They risk a whole lot of lives are in the balance here.
Yeah. And again, I guess I want to note that what's different about our pentagram system that occurred to me is like when we did the Mulder system, malicious intent was part of it, right?
Yes.
Like, and you could argue here that it's like, again, what choice do they have in some of this? Like, I guess that's all to say we're not factoring that in. Like, if you had to break into a naval base and steal an airplane to save like a friend, you're not doing a bad thing necessarily, but you are highly wanted.
But the army is still coming after you.
Exactly.
You
and
still
that's
got
what I
that 5-star wanted level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
the
so,
difference
yes.
here. That's the difference here. Yeah, you're still the Sugarland Express.
Exactly. So yeah, this is 5 stars.
Yeah,
5 pentagrams.
yeah,
sorry.
5 pentagrams. This is gondola hijacking.
On both, I want to on both sides again.
Yeah,
Fucking hijacking a plane to perform an exorcism is pissing off everybody.
it's a major
incredible.
crime in both worlds. Yeah,
Yeah.
like exorcism is like the worst crime, right? For a demon or a ghost,
Imagine.
unless total oblivion.
Yeah, I don't know. That was my next question because we have the booty count.
Excuse me.
We have to booty count this, and the demon is technically like an exorcism might be like go back to hell, you know?
Yeah, it's unclear what happens to the demon at the end of this.
But it also is unclear what happens to the ghosts when they get rid of the ghost too, right? Like we don't know.
Well,
When they
the woman in white seems pretty dead for a ghost.
the Wendigo is definitely dead. They lit it on fire.
Yeah.
But the woman in white was already a ghost, right? And then they dragged her to hell or something.
No, her drowned children did. They bathtubed her to
That's
hell.
what I mean. Well, yeah. And so that's all to say that she still technically her soul exists, right?
I guess.
It's just hard. When you're dealing with the afterlife, it's hard to know what it means to kill something.
Mm-hmm.
That's all to say I think this should probably count
That
towards
counts,
it.
yeah.
So there's a
vanquished or otherwise killed.
yeah. So a booty count of 1 to a total of 3. The booty count right now has not been cranking up as much as I thought it would.
I imagine it'll
that's
jump
okay.
up. But I think we're probably going to average 1 an episode, right?
Well, that's the thing is I that's what I thought. 1 an episode. What I'm realizing is that there are going to be some cases where they just run away from the ghost, and that's almost funnier and worse.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the booty count is like it's a lot of them pissing off, like shaking a bee's nest and then running away and being like, "Sorry," like it's some of that. So
yeah, I imagine it's going to be similar to like if on Fox Mulder is a Maniac, we had kept a running tally of how many of his cases he actually closed.
right, it'd be a very low number.
Yeah, because you're right. The lake ghost just sort of like was done.
Bounces.
Like
He gets what he wants.
It completed its haunting. Yeah, it's like haunting done. Thanks, guys. You lured the last guy in here. You really made it easy for me.
Yeah, you
brought him right to
abetted
the
me.
lake for me. Thanks.
Yeah, and his fucking grandkid. But yeah, for this one, we got that demon.
Yeah,
we're up
I'd
to
say
3.
so. We're up to 3.
And we hit our first fucking 5 pentagrams, which is, I don't know, kind of special.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I feel good about
I do
it.
too.
I don't feel like we just gave it away. I feel like this earned those 5 stars, those 5 pentagrams.
They earned it. They earned it when they taped that man's mouth shut and beat the shit out of him on the
just
plane.
beat the hell out of him. It
The
just looks like
co-pilot.
a hijacking.
It is a hijack.
Yes.
That's
why it looks like one.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's for good reasons, but it is hijacking a
Yes.
plane.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
What an episode. Man, I love our beautiful himbos.
Me too.
What's next?
They really are. I'll look that up while we vamp, I guess,
Should we
for a
vamp?
second. We're going to have to.
Yeah.
Because I am having trouble finding
What the next
the
episode, is?
episode. I'm getting there. Bloody Mary. Oh my God.
sweet.
Yeah. This is one that I was excited for because it raises a lot of questions about the Bloody Mary lore for me. Mm-hmm. I guess I'll spoil it.
I remember this one. Oh, don't spoil it too much.
Okay. It's more just that the Bloody Mary ghost appears to be some sort of franchise system.
Oh, yeah, no, I think you can just buy your own as long as you, like, maintain
You just need
it.
to be named Mary.
You just need to be named Mary, yeah.
Yeah. But then there's other stuff. This won't be hijacking a plane, but it is very funny.
There's some... this is one of the ones I really remember, yeah.
Yeah. This one I don't think it'll be a 5. It'll just be a lot of fun because they're real dipshits in this one, if I recall.
Yeah, I seem to remember. It's been, like I had said at the beginning of the show, I've seen season 1, but it has been many years since I've watched it.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all I've seen.
Yep. So yeah, and they'll be babes. I guarantee they'll be babes.
Oh, they're babes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Bloody Mary's a babe.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how many babes are after them specifically.
Oh, if you're gonna have a ghost, it might as well be a babe.
Yeah, why not?
Especially if you're a show full of beautiful himbos.
You know what? I just realized this about Supernatural, and I have to give them credit. Supernatural is the only like show that dares to have a ghost in like Jinko jeans. Like,
oh yeah,
that dares,
they're very aughts ghosts.
Yeah. Even when they're not technically aughts ghosts, they look like
the woman in white.
Yeah,
like she had
like I think she's supposed to die in, right. I think she's supposedly died in like the 50s, but like
I don't think it was that long ago. But I know maybe it was. Yeah.
Right, but she has the face of someone who owns a fucking Britney Spears album.
Right.
Like, it's not, like, there's just no getting around that. And I really appreciate that they don't even try to make them look old-timey.
No.
They're just like, nah, they're just modern babe ghosts.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just a babe.
Right, because while we're watching this, we're like, maybe Dean will have sex with the ghost. It's bound to happen. When do you think? What season do you think Dean's going to have sex with a ghost in?
I'm pretty sure Sam does it first.
Oh, wow.
Pretty sure. I mean, remember, he of the cursed dick.
That's true. That's true. Man, that's a bummer for the ghost.
Yeah.
That poor ghost.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, it's a bummer for any living woman that gets involved with Sam.
That's fair. Yeah. Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
You scare us all.
The FBI has a file on him.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably, if this is a free episode, we should tell people where to see.
We should,
with their ears, the rest of the episodes. That's patreon.com/gamefully unemployed. GAMEFULLY unemployed. We do this bi-weekly, right?
Yeah.
Bi-weekly means every 2 weeks.
Every other week, yeah.
Every other week. Until we die. So that's where you get all the episodes of Himboos. But you can also get, and this is all for $5 a month, you get this show, you get Fox Mulder as a Maniac, our other show, which is done. Every episode
Completed.
of the X-Files covered. Tom and Jeff watch Batman, which can't possibly ever be done.
It will never end.
Spiel Boys, which
is ending soon, actually.
Yeah.
We only have, I think, 5 more Spielberg movies to cover, but we're going to be replacing it with there'll be a follow-up show to it. Don't worry. Abe and I are talking about it.
And Star Trek The Next Futurama, which will also end, but I also have some stuff with Mike that we're talking about. I mean, we still got a lot of Futurama to cover.
I was going to say,
all for $5. All for $5, and the library just keeps growing. So that $5 just becomes worth more and more. It stretches more and more.
We're going to keep adding stuff, I think, this year. So.
Yeah. Our value is plummeting every time we add.
We're really giving ourselves away. So take advantage of us now. Please.
Yeah. Also, Marvelin. Some of those will be Patreon exclusive as well.
That's true.
So, yeah.
I forgot about that. We were
Yeah.
going to do that.
Yeah. There's a lot.
So
A lot
much.
of reasons to give us $5.
Just $5 little. There's a lot of other stuff, too. You can commission your own podcast miniseries about just about anything you want.
Yeah.
We do movie nights with our patrons every Friday night. There's a lot. Check that out. We also have a store.
Yeah.
If you want to check that out, gamefulunemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Rate and review our free podcasts.
Yeah.
Follow our new show, Batical.
Give us the old 5 pentagrams.
Yeah. Give us some 5 pentagrams or however many pentagrams you feel we deserve.
Yeah.
As himboos of our own. Our new show, Batical, Badical, wherever you listen to podcasts. And yeah, that's it. That's
all the things. We said all the words.
Sleep with a Van Helsing crossbow under your pillow.
Yeah, in case Sam shows up. Decides to throttle you.
Or just
he thinks there's
or just loom. He may just come and loom Paranormal Activity style.
Or really just form any kind of relationship with you. It doesn't matter what. Just get away.
If you see him, it's already too late.